It did.
So we're reaching all-time high for the crypto market cap, but there's also summary of Fed Powell's speech. So it is looking very good for the markets, just as I predicted correctly, guys, that the markets right now are not doing bad. I don't think there was any indicator for XRP to do bad. And this is good news for you because this means that, we're nothing near 2022 levels.
This is the summary. He said, shifting balance of risks may warrant adjusting policy, suggests downside risks to employment are rising, labor supply is softened in line with demand, Fed abandoning flexible average inflation targeting framework, can't take stable inflation expectations for granted. He also said that risks in inflation are titled to the upside and risks to employment are titled to the downside. That's a long way to say stagflation. And he said risks now tilt towards jobs more than inflation. So basically what they are afraid now is if they do not start reducing interest rates, jobs is going to get out of hand and it might get into an area that they don't want it to get to. So they're less afraid about inflation, more afraid about the job market going to be very bad, right? Labor.
But right now, the job market is all-time high. Isn't productivity at all-time high? And it's never been easier to get a job. So they're afraid that this will drop, not with the inflation itself. Weakening with the supply, labor supply. I guess, yeah, this is the thing right now. There was much more labor in 2021 than it was now.
Supply is weakening with demand. Fed scraps flexible average inflation targeting. Stable inflation exception no longer assumed and signals possible rate cut.
That's very likely. Like, I'm not too afraid of that. We have been kind of expecting all of this, but in this type of news, even if the jobs are getting, potentially bad, it doesn't mean that this will happen. It just means they're trying to prevent that before it happens, just like taking medicine before you get sick, right? For example, like a preventive type of medicine is the same thing. They're trying to lower the rate cuts and do the possible rate cuts, and that will further grow the crypto markets, make more jobs by lowering these rate cuts, which is great news.
In September, and if we go and we take a look at the probabilities, there's one probability now at 91%. If we go and we look at investing.com, yesterday we were at 69% even. And now with the Fed remarks, it jumped all the way to 89.1% for a reduction. And that is what has the market pumping. This was, the sell-off that we've seen over the past few days was because of the anticipation that maybe the Fed chairman would say something regarding not reducing interest rates. And so people were reducing risk if he would say that. Like they were pre-selling the notion that maybe he would say something like that. But he didn't.
I feel like we all expected interest rate cuts, but this is pretty bullish news. There's always going to be something to improve in the market, but we have never been in the last 5 years this good in terms of market. And, with all the Crypto Bill Act, of all the great things, this is what really pushes XRP towards a greater price in here. So look at that.
With using leverage. Okay, very, very important. Again, link is in the description down below and also put it in the pinned comment. Also, just want to remind you that I will never contact you on social media asking you to sign up to anything or to send me any money. If you're watching this on TikTok, it's not me, right? They keep uploading my videos to TikTok. It's not me. So don't, click any links or don't the Fed chairman, right? There were signs. There were one sign that actually, if you've been watching the past few days, there was a...
So 500 million liquidity injection. Again, this is a lot of money. Sent 500 million USDT to Binance. This means that $500 million could be like getting to buy.
That we talked about, the fact that Tether minted $1 billion worth of USDT. We talked about that, that the previous times that I've seen that, the market pumps after that. And we're seeing now another 500. Oh, sorry. I just had some barbecue. I was barbecuing and we had some barbecue. So the barbecue is coming up.
Again, guys, if XRP goes on the exchange, it usually means that the prices are going to go down because that means a big whale is ready to sell. But if stable coins go in the market, it could sometimes mean it's cashing out. But the most important factor is 90% of the time, it means they're putting the stable coins onto the market to buy crypto because that's how you buy it through these exchanges.
500 million liquidity injection. Tether Treasury just sent 500 million USDT to Binance. Fresh liquidity is flowing in. Is this the fuel for the next big pump? Right, and we can have a situation here where shorts get squeezed, especially on Ethereum. Holy smoke, is 268 million got liquidated from.
So a lot of people who are against the market now lost a lot of money because they were saying the market is going to go down. They got destroyed. And this could potentially signal right now the people who are getting long are getting, they're getting rewarded.
Ethereum, 57 on the long with 210 million on the short. For Bitcoin, it's also about 2 times more on the short. XRP, interesting, about 50-50 on the short and the long over the last 12 hours. So people got liquidated on the way down, and now they're getting liquidated on the way up as well. So it will be very interesting to see how high the market can go today. Let me know in the comment section down below. Do you think this is a fake out, or is this the catalyst that sends us
I mean, still 80% of people are saying that the market is going to go down. Isn't that what's happening in the last 4 hours? If we check last 24 hours, 64% of people are going short, are saying that the XRP price is going to go down. So you be the judge. Like, that is very scary, right?
The moon, right? Do we start breaking out? Do we see the banana zone start from here, or is this just a fake out, right? Some more news, Canada to remove retaliatory tariffs on many U.S. products.
I'm not even afraid about the tariffs anymore. They don't affect the prices at all. They are literally probably helping the prices. Like, people were saying, oh, tariffs are going to destroy crypto. They're going to destroy everything. It's going to create a new recession. When Jerome Powell literally confirmed that the tariffs, are not that big of a problem right now, he confirmed it last session, like a month ago, that it was problematic. Now it's okay. I mean, that's a pretty good idea.
Reports. So again, good news. We're getting in the past few days a lot of good tariff news for the United States, and now Canada is going to remove the retaliatory tariffs. So again, positive news there for the U.S. We also had this very interesting. Brad Garlinghouse tweeted out after Stuart Alderati tweeted out this. Say, glad to be at the conference alongside all these people talking about the post-Genius Act world, most important tenets of any market structure bill, and what it means to have a cohesive legislative and executive branch crypto strategy. Just a bunch of policy people in quite possibly one of the most beautiful event locations around where they were. I don't know, SALT conference. Where is that?
So yeah, it's pretty clear that Brad Garlinghouse is doing all these sorts of partnerships, and he's always somewhere. He's always doing something somewhere. It's pretty insane how Brad Garlinghouse, goes ahead and is always. I feel like XRP has a huge network of friends and followers. Like, they built up last 13 years. That's why XRP went to $3. They just partnered up with Gemini. We didn't even know they had one of the biggest partnerships then.
To declare their coming out of the closet in public because they were afraid of maybe the backlash or what people would say. But now that it's become acceptable, we're seeing more and more people come out as pro crypto, and it's very, very interesting, and it's very beautiful that we have this kind of situation right now. And we're seeing many people flipping, from either being anti-crypto to pro-crypto. And it's just, a change in policy, a change in the upper echelon, clarification, legislation, clarity. That's what people wanted. And once they have it, it's beautiful, and people.
That's the thing. Like, XRP has been pushing for clarity, and they've been basically inviting the government to make it fully Clarity Act. They don't want to be private. They want to go fully public. Even an IPO, initial public offering, just like, Amazon went, just like Tesla, Reddit, all of these companies. That's the same thing that Ripple wants to follow. It wants to join the stock market, and that's where the big money is. The big sharks
are becoming pro-crypto, so it's beautiful to see. Someone that is very pro-crypto is President Trump, and we talked about the fact that he was going to fire one of the Fed governor. She's Fed governor and SEC chairman. It's confusing. Fed governor Lisa Cook, if she does not resign. Interesting. So
you're going to fire Lisa Cook, the Fed governor, over her mortgage fraud.
I can't hear. Technical difficulty time. But he said that, and so there's some investigation into her, right? So this is interesting. That's kind of weird.
Can you even fire someone that works at the Fed? I don't think so. Like, the Fed is its own autonomous thing, right? So It's you can't even be fired that way.
That's interesting. But in general, you had a conference. I didn't see anything on the conference around social media. Like I said, I was barbecuing, and I didn't see it affect the market too much. So I'm thinking that Trump either said bullish things or nothing to do with crypto. And that's why we initially had, once the Fed spoke, right, we had the initial pump, and then Trump was supposed to speak around here. And I guess he didn't say anything that was anti-crypto. So then we saw the crypto market continue to rise there. So
I mean, just not because of Trump that the market's pumped. It's literally because we had so much good news after good news after good news.
it will be very interesting to see, what happens here. Freaky Friday again. We can see. I warned about volatility, and we definitely saw the volatility. We saw, like I said, you saw XRP. There was 50-50 on liquidations, shorts and longs. So we have to be very careful in this situation where the market is pumping. We could have big movements, very rapid movements. So just be careful out there. Again, if you're day trading, if you're swing trading. Trade response.
Seems like this week, next week is gonna be insane, especially September. It's gonna be pretty much, all-time trading volume, retail coming back, Bitcoin dominance dropping, all of this good news overall for the markets.
In a long, long time, and that usually when Bitcoin dominance starts collapsing, that's usually a sign for. You know what I'm going to say, but above out season. But we'll see. We have to wait and see what is potentially.
Like alts have been literally destroyed except XRP and the US companies, which I have called. I don't feel like the alts, the altcoins are going to be big as 2021. Everybody's calling for alt season. I don't think it's going to be the big thing. I think the U.S. government is going big on the U.S. companies. I feel like that's always going to be the big plan for crypto.